Hi everyone, this is Canny Couple. I'm Julia, Aaron's behind the camera, and today we want to give you a tour of our main garden for 2023. But before we get started, please hit the like button, and we would really appreciate if you subscribe to our channel. So as you can see, we are in our main garden. This is where we probably grow about 65% of the food we eat, depending on how it yields.
Yes.
Depending on how it yields. We're hoping for like 80% this year. And as you can see, we're actually looking really, really good. So what I'm beside right now, this is row number 1 of our summer squash. And most people probably only have like 3 plants of summer squash, but we eat a lot of summer squash. And I have to say this year has probably been our best year. We are really flourishing. I've never had plants get this big for us. But I planted a bit different this year. But this is our first row. We planted this about 5 to 6 weeks ago. And Aaron, if you'll come over here closer, you can kind of see these are some of our favorites. So we'll be ready to harvest some of these here in the next day or two. These are 8 balls. And we'll do a specific video on these here soon so you can see what they are. But they are one of the fastest growing summer squashes and one of the easiest to use. Now, as you can see, these are growing really well. I'm super proud of my squash row for the most part. So happy about that. But you can see here, this is another, what, probably 3/4 of a row?
Yes.
We have to leave a space to put the baby to let her play. So we have a little space there where we let her play. So we have another row. So we have a succession planting here. So we have a row here starting to mature. We have one we might be ready to pull today, if not today, tomorrow for sure. And then we also have some more over here in our other side garden where we're going to have a continuous crop throughout the summer. Now this next row over here, this is row number 1 of winter squash. And as you can see, we have some climbing. This is one plant.
All one plant.
All of it is one plant.
And this is a volunteer from last year.
Not really sure what summer squash it is.
Well,
but
winter.
Well, winter squash.
Yeah.
That's right, winter squash.
We're pretty sure it's winter from what we see, because if you look here, look at this one here. I don't think she's even seen how big that one is.
Oh no, I hadn't. That's pretty massive. Now what else we have here? We have butternuts, we have trumpetchinos. I think we have some blue Hubbards down here. That's what these are. Blue Hubbards over on this section. You can always tell blue Hubbard because their leaves, if you look at the leaf size, like the leaves are different. They always look different. Blue Hubbards are just so much bigger. That's what I'm pretty sure those are. So those are looking really good. They're starting to grow. Pretty soon we'll have them running up. And they're a little weedy, but not bad. We have to be really careful. Our reeds get really deep roots and they will rip the plants right out of the ground. So we do have to be very careful with that. And right here is some potatoes.
We had some extra ones that was late, and we just decided, hey,
let's
them out
throw
here
them
and
in
see
here.
What they do.
And then here is some more winter squash. Again, we have a whole bunch down through here, a whole nother row. And it's growing just as well. I would say this one is probably growing a little bit better. This one's way heavier sowed with butternuts. I sowed really heavy this year with butternut squash, trying to get as many as possible. Now here are my tomato plants. I'm so happy with them. We do need to do some tying, but you can see how strong these things are. Like, they are really kicking it and doing really well. We've only really tied them back up one time, but they're looking so good. These are all Romas, except for 2 at the bottom. Those are beef steaks because we had a little bit of extra room. And so we put some beef steaks down there. But they're doing really great. I'm super happy. We got these from the Buffalo Seed Company.
Yeah, and I was trying to find, there's a few small ones on here. Like, here's a very tiny one.
Like here.
Yeah, no, I saw some bigger than that the other day.
There was some down there. Oh, right here. Right here's some.
Yes.
So we're getting some really good production off of these. And then this row right here is our pumpkin row, and it's doing pretty good. It's probably the best we've ever had for pumpkins so far. And then the row beyond that one is going to be our watermelon. They are doing okay. I will say they are doing way better back here
On that end.
on this end compared to this end.
Yeah, they're spreading extremely heavy back here. Every which variety these were.
These are doing amazing.
Yeah, we don't have our...
I didn't get a chance to do a good labeling system this year, which is shame on me.
Well, we sort of do have what these were, but we'd have to look it up.
We would, but they look really good.
Yeah.
These look really amazing. The others are very sporadic. And then this mess back here is...
We didn't think they would come up this
I
heavy.
did not think they would come up like this.
It's all sorghum.
This is all sorghum.
See all that light green grass all the way out through there? That is sorghum.
And then we have a few more here. This was saved seed.
Mm-hmm.
All of this was saved seed. These were packs.
True, true.
Those were packs, so we have to go the other way.
Sorry, I was coming out through here to show how long the
sorghum is.
sorghum is.
It's so tall. It kind of just exploded on us. We weren't expecting it, but it really did. So we've been very happy on this part of the garden. So now we're going to show you our beans and our Jerusalem artichokes.
And if you haven't checked out our video on Jerusalem artichokes, how they're a great survival food, any information about those, make sure you go check that one out. It's probably one of our very first few videos.
As you see, these are a little tall. They'll get taller. They'll be as tall as the building.
And very thick.
And very, very thick. We didn't do anything to these. I mean, nothing. The only thing we have, are they still down there? The stalks?
The stalks are still underneath from last year.
Yeah, Erin didn't think they would come back up, but they did. And we actually have to maintain them in this area. But they've came back every single year just as good, I mean, they are the survival food. Now here are our beans. As you can see, these trellising up really nicely.
And these are dry beans.
They're dry beans. We don't do a green bean.
We don't like them.
We don't like them. These are already blooming. These did not get as large this year, but they're still pretty and they'll probably still grow. We had beans growing for a really long time last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we have found this area is really good for us for beans. It works.
Right.
And then the last thing in my garden are one lone sunflower.
Yes.
I think it's a black one, isn't it? I believe so. Got it from Buffalo Seed Company. I really liked the way it looked. It's the only one that either survived or we didn't get pulled up with other weeds.
Exactly, because we had them at the end of the rows right here.
And we forgot.
Well, didn't forget on two of them. They just happened to
pull up with the other weeds.
Yeah.
So that's really it for our garden for 2023. It's looking really good. We're very happy with it. I have to say my squashes, you can come over here and see. We have multiple types that we do. We do green and yellow. I will say I do prefer yellow squash. Here's one. We'll probably be pulling this sucker. Not today, then definitely tomorrow. We don't let them get much bigger than this.
We like them good eating size.
We like them that size. We don't like them very big. And not only that, we watched a class from a master gardener, was free during 2020. And one of the things she said was, if you let your squash get too big, it actually tells your plant that it's ready to die off. So we have found if we harvest them early, which is our preference, we harvest them while they're young, we can actually keep those plants going longer and producing more. So it's worked out really well. So we're actually pretty good right now. We've had some really kind of odd weather for us. We've been very rainy.
Rainy the past couple of weeks.
Very
yes.
rainy. Normally we're very dry at this point, and we have to have a sunshade up at this point, but it's actually for the garden, it's been so moist, we've not really needed it. So everything's really doing what it's supposed to. Like you can see this plant, it's insane. We've grown a lot of squashes. This is one of the
Yeah.
biggest ones we've ever had.
Yeah, so
this
hopefully we
early.
have all kind of good winter ones from that one.
We hope, fingers crossed. We love squash. So as always, please make sure if you have any questions, you email us at thecannycouple@yahoo.com. And thank you for joining us where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.